everyone. Greetings. I hope you can hear me. Welcome to Module 2, live session 2. I'm going to be taking you through some of the changes that we document in the protected planet databases. But before I begin, I wanted to address some of the challenges that participants are going through. So I've been informed that some are not able to access the quiz. So in order for you to access the quizzes, you need to ensure that you have finalized all the other pending sessions that are above the quiz that you're undertaking. And it is only the video that marks itself as done. So you need to ensure that once you finish the PPT, you mark it as done. So this is the main concern that we've been experiencing, of the main question that we've been that most of the participants have been asking. So I wanted to share that before we proceed. Okay, thank you. So again, thank you for taking time to join the live session. My name is Martin Nyoro. I'm a GIS expert for RCMRD. So I'm going to be taking you today's session. It's part of, it's addition to what my colleagues presented yesterday on protected areas database management. But I'm going to focus more on the documentation of the changes that happen in the protected area, the protected planets databases. So the databases, as you've already been taken through the other sessions, it's the world database of protected areas, the world database of other effective area conservation measures, and the global database of protected area management effectiveness. So to document these changes, it involves the tracking, the updates of the protected area information, which include if there are some additions, if there are some removals or modifications on the already existing records in the databases. So this process ensures that the databases remain an accurate and also up-to-date resource for all the conservation efforts and reporting on the various targets. So the type of changes that happen in the databases, one is when we have a protected area that has been newly gazetted. So this is now a new addition to the database. Then there is where a protected area it's either expanded or reduced, or it's redefined. So this is where the spatial extent or the boundary changes. So this is another change that is experienced. Another change is when we need to update some of the attribute data. There could be the name of the protected area, or the management category, governance type, or even when the legal designation was done. So even the area size. So this is some of the attribute information that we make sure that we also update. There is a case where these protected areas are either degazetted or deleted. So this is when it is officially an area officially eliminates all the protections that were there before. So it is no longer meets a category of either the WDPA or OECM inclusion in the databases. So there is also areas that when we want to add or remove OECMs, So this is the OECM specific adjustments. This is when we recognize new OECMs or removal of areas that no longer qualify as effective conservation measures. So one of the biggest challenges that happens is it's the called PAD. So PAD is when we have protected areas that are downgrading. It's protected area downgrading, downsizing, and degazettement. So downgrading is where we decrease in the legal restrictions on the matter, on the number, magnitude, or the extent of human activity within a protected area. Then we have downsize. This is where we decrease the size of the protected area. And then we have the degazettement. This is where now we have we lose the legal protection of the entire protected area. For example, in terms of downgrading is where we have a strict nature reserve being the most protected area or protected area. So we downgrade that restriction from a strict nature reserve to something like a national park. So that is what we are talking about downgrading. In downsizing, this is where there is an excision on maybe land or sea, meaning that now the boundary will shift or change a bit. And then, as I mentioned, degazettement is the loss of the legal protection. So some of the statistics from PAD Tracker shows that between 1992 and 2020, 74 countries have enacted 4,400 PAD events, which is affecting the size, it's nearly the size of India, which is about approximately 3.2 million square kilometers. This is quite huge. And between 1944 and 2019, 26 countries proposed more than 1,100 PAD events. 61% of the PAD events globally are related to industrial scale resource extraction, could be development, infrastructure, industrial agriculture, mining, oil and gas. So these were some of the challenges that were being talked about in the previous sessions regarding the effects of human encroachment in or the increasing population, and now we end up creating or having these PAD events to ensure that we have more space to allocate for infrastructure and development. So there has been a rollback of protected areas appearing to be increasing, which is 77%, which were enacted since the year 2000. So in order for this, the type of changes to be updated in the protected planners databases, they require some supporting documentation. So once you have a new site addition, there is usually either an official gazette or a legal act, or even a protected area designation document. So these are some of the supporting documents that are required before the data is updated in the WDPA. So if it's in the boundary changes, we require a new shapefile or GIS shapefile showing us the new extent of the protected area. If it's some of the attribute information that we need to update, we also require some of the supporting documents, could be the management plan, a gazette, or gazette notice. In cases that we have sites that have been degazetted or deleted, we need to have like a legal revocation notice or an administrative act removing the area from the databases. Last but not least, this is an overall document that accompanies the other supporting documents. It is a data contributor agreement, which is a form that ensures that there is a written record of the data provider agreeing of the intellectual property and the database, and that the data will be included in the database, and the terms of which it will be made available, because the data is available to anyone who can access the protected planet. So we need to ensure, why do we ensure that we document some of these changes? So one is to ensure that there is accountability. So this enables transparency about how the national and global protected areas systems evolve. There is also an accuracy that ensures that decision makers, researchers, and the public have access to the most updated and verifiable data. And it also assists in tracking the progress on the global biodiversity targets. So this is, Protected Planet has been formally mandated by the Convention of Biological Diversity to track the progress on these targets. So this ensures that the parties are also able to track their progress. And also in terms of data integrity, so it prevents data loss or having duplication of all these data sets, and also to maintain a historical record of how the areas have been changing over time. So I want to take a bit more focus on the data contributor agreement, which this is a requirement in order for data to be updated in the WDPA. So there are different data contributor agreements. There is a different one for the global database of protected area management, because what is updated under PAME is different from what is updated under WDPA or WDOECM. So some of the clauses under the data contributor agreement is that the data provider provides the data sets for integration into the WDPA or GDPAME or WDOECM. And the data provider includes the data sets that they are updating in terms of the spatial boundaries and the attributes relating to the particular country that they are updating their data. The data provider also ensures that they provide a brief description of the data. That is the format of the data, the number of polygons or points that they're updating, and any other relevant information that will be that will ensure the process is clear and smooth. So the data provider should also ensure that they provide the data free of restrictions, as it will be viewable and downloadable in accordance with the Protected Planet terms and conditions. And it will also be utilized for analysis and redistributed to third parties for use on other platforms. For example, the data that is available on our RCOE geoportal, it reads directly from the Protected Planet, as well as the dashboard. So the data needs to be free of restrictions, as it will be accessed by many stakeholders. The data provider should also ensure that they have permission from the relevant stakeholders and right holders to share the data sets. In some cases where we have the IPLCs, the indigenous people and local communities, where they manage or they govern some of these sites, the data provider should ensure that they have gotten free, prior, and informed consent from the IPLCs involved in the management, the governance, and the ownership of the sites as described in the data sets. Something also we need to note is that if the data is provided without the permissions of the relevant stakeholders and right holders, The terms and conditions of the protected planet is that the data will be removed from the WDPA with immediate effect. The data provider should also ensure, we've seen that with this data is used for many purposes, so the data provider should make reasonable efforts to ensure that the data is as accurate as possible. RCMRD and UNEP WCMC recognize the rights and the intellectual property of the data provider, and they will usually provide and maintain proper attribution to the ministry or the agency or the department that provided the data. And for future, in case we need correspondence and queries relating to the data, or in cases where we need to reach out to the countries to update this data, we we retain the information of the data provider, that is the name and contact, so for future correspondence. But this information is only meant for our use, the RCMRD and UNEP WCMC use, so that the personal data is not shared to any third parties. And the last but not least is that on the data contributor agreement is that in terms of the geographical entities submitted, RCMRD and UNEP WCMC they do not have a view or an opinion whatsoever on the legal status of any country, territory, or its authority. So concerning any delimitation of its frontiers or boundaries, these two entities they don't have any expression on this information. So the protected planet also has an update tracker. So as my colleagues had mentioned in Module 1, these updates happen monthly. So if you visit protectedplanet.net, there is a tab for update tracker. We're able to see on the 1st of August, there was an update that was done, 1st of July, 1st of June, going back as far back as shown. So I took a focus on the August 2025 release. And in terms of the WDPA, there is a total number of 305,586 records that were updated. 303,713 were protected areas, comprising of 653 polygons and 11,933 points, and this was covering 24 countries and territories. In terms of the WDOECM, the total number of records is 6,630, which were 6,593 were OECMs, comprising of 6,485 were polygons and 145 were points, which were covering the records. The WDOECM covers 15 countries and territories. In the August release, there were no records on any updates on protected area management effectiveness. A deeper dive into the kind of updates that were done, we are able to see the country where the data set came from. We have the designation type of the protected area that was updated. We have the designation name. So we have national, we have OECMs, we have UNESCO map biosphere reserves. Then we have the polygons in terms of the polygons that were updated in that country. Then we have the polygons that were removed. And then we have polygons that were either that were updated or verified. This could be the attribute information was updated, could be some of the boundary information. So that is the column that describes that column. In terms of points, we have the points that the protected area points that increased, some that decreased, and then some the points that were either updated, as I've mentioned, in the attribute information. And then we have cases where we have points that change into polygons, where we now have the extent or the boundary of the protected areas. And then we have some cases where the polygons also change into points. So in terms of what updated means is modification or updates in terms of the geometry or attributes existing in the databases. Then removal is the removal from the database. And added is new addition of the features into the databases. So that is it from me, this session. Let's continue using the chat for any questions that you might have. We also engage us through the RCOE community or our socials in case of any challenges. So I will stop sharing and invite my colleague Eric to take you through the next session. So welcome, Eric.
Thank you so much, Martin, for the presentation. I will pick from where you have left. My name is Eric Juma. I am also a JS expert in charge of biodiversity ecosystems here at RCMRD. And I want to pick from where we left yesterday. Yesterday we created a schema. And today we are supposed to add our data on the schema and process our data as per the WDPA standards. Remember, we are still trying to achieve target 3. We have put efforts in recognizing protected areas. How do you report these protected areas to the World Database on Protected Areas? So we will be going through the procedure of how you can prepare your data and then report it to the protected planet, and how the statistics are calculated as per the protected planet standards. So allow me to share my screen. So yesterday we left at creation of the schema. We had created our schema. And we need now to append our data on the schema. So I will be taking you through the process of appending the data to the schema. And then after appending the data to the schema, what we will do is that we will calculate the fields that are required to complete the data preparation. So first, I need you to log into your ArcGIS online account. Then go to your content. Go to your content. So I don't know how you named your file, but my schema, I named it as protected and conserved areas in Eastern and Southern African region. Perhaps I should have called it a schema so that it is easy to identify it. So just click on the schema that we created. And then you can even edit it. You can click on edit and edit the name. Add underscore, then schema, so that it is easier for you to identify this layer. Then click on save. So this is the data that, this is the layer that I'm going to use as a schema. It's a feature layer. It is a hosted feature layer, which means I have the full rights to edit it. And I have shared the same layer with the public, and also given them the permission to edit it. So anyone who has this layer can be able to use it as a schema. So what we are going to do today, I just want us to click on data to review what is within our schema. And because it's just a template, you may not be able to see the features in the schema. So you see here it's saying no data found. Editing is disabled, but we have privileges to edit this layer, which means I need to go and to the settings and enable it. I think during the course of my preparation, I did disable it. So I'll go to the settings and then enable editing. And then I'll click on save so that I can be able to edit this particular layer. So you can see this item has been successfully updated, and now I have rights to edit the layer. So once you have checked enable editing, we will go back to the data. So I'll share with you a data set that you can use for this particular class. My colleague will share a link. My colleagues will share a link on the charts. It's a link that points to a zipped data. It's a zipped shapefile. You will use it the way it is. For me, I have it in my computer, but for you, you can go and just check your charts. There's a link that is being posted there. Click on that link and download the zipped file. The file that I want you to download is this one here. It's called Aberdare Range Forests. This is a range of forests in Kenya. They are forest reserves. They are part of protected areas in Kenya. So what I want you to do, just click on that link. It will bring you to this window. Then come and click on download. Click on download button, which is just beside the layer. Click on download. It's a very small file, I think about 39 KBs. So it should download very fast. Once you download it, I need you to switch back to your ArcGIS Online account. And then what we want to do now is to update our data, to append our data to our schema. I need you to click on Update Data. On the left side of your screen, there's a button called Update Data. Click on it. And then you'll get this window, which is more of a pop-up. It has various options. It's asking you to choose which type of update you want to perform. Remember, you can add features. You can update existing features, but because we don't have existing features, we cannot choose this option. You can add and update features. And the last one is inactive because it's about overwriting entire feature layer. So pick Add Features option and just click on Next. And then it will allow you to go and upload the data that you want to add. Click on your device option. Click on your device option. And then go and pick your data, the data that we just downloaded. If you have just downloaded, then it will be in the Downloads folder. So for me, when I go to Downloads folder, I have it here. So let me go through the same process again because I'm being told that some of you are lost. Let me go through it again. So I'll cancel this. I'll cancel everything that I've done. I want to believe that by now you should be able to log into your account. You should be able to log into your ArcGIS online account. And once you are in ArcGIS online account, go to the Content tab. Remember, the Content tab is a place where all the files that we have created are placed. So every file that you have created will be in your Contents tab. And in the Contents, you can also be able to access your favorites. If you have favorite items, you can be able to check the groups that you belong to. You can be able to see your organization. In this case, the organization has everyone that is participating in this course, including you. And then you can be able to access also the Living Atlas. As I told you, this is the data that is created by Esri from authoritative sources. So when you go to your contents, I need you to go to the schema that you created yesterday. Yesterday you created a schema. For me, I called my schema Protected and Conserved Areas in Eastern and Southern Africa region. So when I click on it, it will open that file. It will open that file. And you can see under the description, it's saying this feature layer was created to act as the WDPA data schema. So I said once it opens, click on data. And your interface should look like mine. It is an empty table. There is nothing in our table because we just created the templates and we now want to populate the data in the table. So before you populate it, I have told you that there's a link that has been shared on the chart. Go to the chart and copy that link, paste it in your browser. It will take you to a Google Drive. It will take you to a Google Drive with the file that looks like this one. It's called Aberdare Range Forests. This is a range of forests. There are a range of forests in Kenya, which are protected areas. And in Kenya, you call them forest reserves. So this file here consists of, it's a shape file that consists of forest reserves that fall under the Aberdare range. So I need you to come and click on the download icon. Just beside the file, on the right side of the file, you'll see some icons. The second icon is download. Click on that icon to download your file. So I told you it is a very small file. It's about 39 KBs, which should not take a lot of time to download. So just click on it. It will download. When you come and click on the downloaded file, on the show in folder, you should be able to see that file. It is a zipped file, so we don't want to unzip it, just leave it the way it is. We will use it the way it is. So after it has downloaded, I need you to switch back to the ArcGIS account. Go to your ArcGIS account. And then on the right side of your layer, we have some options. We have the table command, we have the fields, we have the update data, and we have the calculate field option or button. So we want to append our data in our table. In the procedure to append the data to the table, you need to click on update data. So once you click on the update data, it will give you the various options you can choose from. And we have the add features, we have the update features, we have add and update features, which are active. And for this class, we are using add features option. So by default, it will be selected. If it is not selected, just click on it to select it, and then click on next. So once you click on next, you will get an option of going to pick the file from your device. So you can see there is an option here, a button called your device. By clicking on this button, you will be presented with a window that allows you to browse to where your file is. So click on your device. And once you click on your device, you can go to the downloads folder in your computer. So for me, my downloads folder is here. Inside the downloads folder, you can see the file that I downloaded. It's here. It is called Aberdare Rainforest. So just click on it. It's a very small one. It should be 40 KB. So click on it and click on Open. So once you click on Open, it will detect the file that you have added. It is a shape file. It is not a file geodatabase. It is a shape file. So what I need you to do is that I want you to click on Shapefile option. Click on Shapefile option and click on Next. So then it brings you this window where you need to match the fields of the file that you are adding with the fields of the schema. So the original fields being shown down here, these are the fields of the schema. So it is asking you to match the fields of the layer that you are adding with the fields of the schema. And in this case, we don't have many fields that match with our schema except one. These forest reserves have what you call names. So when you come and click on the name option of the schema, on the right you have the option to select a matching field. So click on the arrow on the matching field, and when you scroll through, you realize that we have very few matching fields. We only have the other matching field is the area, which is wrongly captured. Of course, you can see ABC refers to a string type of data. And the area, it's a numeric value, so it's wrongly captured, but we'll see. So for the name of the forest is under a field called forest. So I need you to click on the forest, check the forest option, so that the name matches with the forest field. And then you can look for the area where we have the reported area. You can scroll through and look for the reported area field. If it's not in the first window, click on the second one. Scroll down and click on the second window, and scroll through until you get reported area. Remember, reported area means reported marine area. But reported area here refers to the area that the data provider has reported for each of the protected areas that they are updating. So we can pick the area option here. You can pick the area option there. Then I don't think there is any other matching field. You can go back and confirm that the name matches with the forest. Then click on Add and Complete. Click on the Add and Complete. To add or to append, we are actually appending the data to the schema. And you should be able to add 20 records. You should be able to add 20 records to the schema. So once you add the 20 records to the schema, you can see only names have been added. So you have Kikuyu Escarpment, which are 2. Then you have South Laikipia. We have 2 South Laikipias. We have Kipipiri, we have Aberdares, we have Magumo North, Magumo South, Kijabe Hills, Kingatua, etc. So what we need to do, normally, if you're providing the data, you will be provided with a template, what we call WDPA submissions template. And in that WDPA submissions template, we have included what we call the minimum attributes. As I told you, the minimum means compulsory attributes, those that we must provide for the data to be updated. So you need to fill the schema, fill the template with all the information, and then you can just come and perform a join function to add your data to your schema. So, but in this case, what you're doing is that we want to show you how this data is updated, and the updating of the data in the WDPA is guided by the WDPA manual. So my colleagues will be sharing a link of the WDPA manual. But again, that link is in the e-learning platform. That link is still in the e-learning platform. So what you can do is that you can just go to the e-learning platform, go to module 2, session 1, under data review, you will get a link of the WDPA manual. Or you can easily go to the browser and search for WDPA manual, and then download a version that is in your language. So for the latest versions, we have a version in English, we have a version in French, there's a version in Spanish, there's a version in Russian, and then there's an old version in Arabic. So choose a link that conforms to your language. So for me, I have just selected the English version of the schema. And then you can go ahead and go through it. But for this class, I just want to show you how the fields, the values that are supposed to be entered against each field. So I have this table here that guides me when I'm processing the data. For example, you can see we have the first one is the WDPA ID, which is provided by the UNEP WCMC. So this one, that particular field will not fill anything because WDPA ID is a unique identifier for each and every protected area that is in the WDPA. And that information, that identifier is only provided by the manager of the database, UNEP World Conservation and Monitoring Center. But then under the provided by column, you can see we have those fields that need, or that information that need to be provided by the data provider. The first one is PA definition. PA definition is a definition of whether the site is a protected area or an OECM. So if the site meets the definition of a protected area, it's assigned a 1. And if a site meets the definition of OECM, it's assigned a 0. So in that field, only 2 values are allowed, a 1 and a 0. 1 refers to protected areas, 0 refers to OECMs. The data that you are updating, all of them are forest reserves, and they are protected areas in Kenya. So we will go and update all the values for all the records to be 1. So switch back to the ArcGIS Online tab, and then there are 2 ways you can calculate a field. The first one is that you can just go to the column of that field, click on the 3 dots, and then click on Calculate option. Once you click on the Calculate option, it will ask you which language do you want to use to calculate. We have 2 languages. You can use Arcade. Arcade is an expression language that only works in ArcGIS environment. But we can also use an SQL language. So for this class, we can use both of them, will work. But you can read through. Arcade is used for complex spatial operations, which cannot be done by SQL. But SQL is faster. So if you want to do faster expressions, you can use SQL. We will use both to just learn. So in this case, you can pick SQL. click on the SQL. And then once you click on the SQL, you come and click on the next. At the bottom right corner, there's a button called the next. Click on it. And then come and type 1. So ignore the one that is under the expression window shows the line that you have added your code. So just type 1 there. So if you are adding numeric data, you just type the number that you're adding. It will be picked automatically in SQL. But when you're adding a text or a string, you have to put it in quotation marks. So just type a 1 there and click on Run Calculation. Once it finishes, it will tell you calculation complete. To go and check whether it was successful, click on the table. On the left side of the screen, click on the table. And under PA definition, you should be able to see each of the values should have a 1. Each of the records should have a 1. We have one of the records that is empty. It was added, but it is empty. The last one, we can click on it to check it. Just click on it to check it, to select it, and then click on delete because it is an empty record. Click on delete, then click on delete so that we don't, we remove null values or null records. Click on delete and it should be deleted. Then the second field that we need to calculate is the original name. So the original name works in situations where maybe the English name varies from the original name of the protected area. For example, maybe a protected area like Kikuyu Escarpment has an original name that is not the name that is gazetted. So for those protected areas, you can come and add the original names. For this case, all the protected areas that we have the same name as the original name. So we will use this field name to populate the values for the original name field. So to do that, come to the original name. You can click on the 3 dots and click on calculate. Click on calculate. This round, we can use the arcade option. Then click on the next. And then in the arcade, you can see on the left side of the expression, you have the profile variables and you have the functions. So for us, we want to add a variable, click on the X. And then it's a feature. We are picking a field of the feature. So click on the feature, on the arrow against the feature. And then you can scroll down and find feature dot name. Yes, it's here. Feature. It's feature.name. Click on it to add it. So what it means is that it will pick the values that are in the field called the name and add them to the field, to the original name field. So once you click on it, you can come and click on Run Calculation. It should be able to run and calculate all the names in that original name field. So once it finishes, you can see calculation complete. You can go back to the table, click on the table, and the names that were in the name field have been moved to the original name field. Then the third option is designation, and designation in this case, each country have different designations for protected area. So designation field will vary from country to country. And when you go to the manual, when you look at designation, it is the name of the designation and it allows any value. It allows any value. depending on the designations of the country. So in this case, all the protected areas that we are adding are forest reserves. So the designations of those protected areas is forest reserve. So we can just switch back to the ArcGIS account, ArcGIS tab, and then for designations we can come and calculate it. The other way of calculating a field is that you can just come and click on Calculate Field button on the left of the window. You click on Calculate Field on the left of the window, and then under the fields you come and select the field that you want to calculate. So click on the arrow and pick designation. And once you pick designation, come and select the language. As I told you, you can pick even SQL, click on SQL, and then click on Next. So I told you that if you're adding a string data or textual data, you need to put your information in quotations. So put a quotation, open a quotation. It will finish for you with the closing quotation and just type the value that you want to add. In this case, it is a forest. Type forest reserve. And then click on Run Calculation. And when it finishes, it will tell you it's complete. Click on the table. And you can see there is a designation there. So I want to scroll. You can do the same for all the features. You can see you have the reported area. This reported area is in different values. It's I think in hectares or square meters. I think it is in square meters. It needs to be converted to square kilometers, and that means that you have to divide this by 1,000. So we shall be doing that. So I need you to go through the manual, and complete all the fill all the information in this template. Go through the manual and fill all the information in this template. For the designation in English, what you will do is that you will copy the values in designation and paste them in designation in English using the calculate function. Using the calculate function to finish, to copy the values in designation to the designation in English. I want to go through the procedure again because I'm being told that some of you are lost. So I'll go through the procedure of calculating fields again. The procedure of calculating fields again. And I will populate some of the fields that we have not populated. So we can start with designation in English. Designation in English. So to calculate designation in English, you will calculate this value from the designation field. And to calculate it, you come and click on the three dots. Click on the 3 dots, and then click on calculate. Click on calculate, and then pick a language. As I told you, Arcade is an expression language for ArcGIS, but SQL is a language that is used. Most of you know it. So you can choose any of the two. For Arcade, calculations that require more, it applies in calculations that require more functionality than SQL, including spatial operations, and it has improved the troubleshooting. For SQL, of course, it is the fastest, it has the fastest performance. Calculations can be expressed in SQL language, layers with synchronization, layers with synchronization or that have keep track of created or updated features are enabled. So you can choose any of the two. Whatever we are doing is basic calculations. They are not complicated in any way, so you can pick SQL, and then come and click on next. Once you click on next, we are going to pick a field called a designation, so that the values in designation field are populated in designation English field. So to do that, come and click on your left. You have this X button here. Click on it, and then scroll down and select the name. Scroll down and select the name. So once you select name field, what it means is that the values that are in the name field will be populated in the designation English field. So once you select it, you can come and click on Run a Calculation. Remember, do not leave this window when it is calculating, otherwise everything will be lost. So once you calculate it, you can come and click on the table. In the designation in English here will be, sorry, we made a mistake. We need to calculate from designation, not name, sorry. So you click on it again and calculate again. It is a confusion. Click on SQL. Then go to next. I hope you didn't confuse. So in the expression window, click on the X, and then pick designation. Pick designation. I think we just confused, and then click on Run Calculation, so that the values in designation are same as the values in the designation English fields. So when you scroll, you should be able to see the values in designation and the values in the designation English are the same. For the designation type has defined values. So this is not a field that you can just fill with any information. When you go to the WDPA manual, there's a designation type here. In the allowed values, are national. If the protected areas you're adding is national. We have regional. If the protected areas are regional, at a regional level. International, if they are international sites that you're adding. Not applicable means that we have some of the sites which are not under any of these. They are not recognized nationally. They are not regional sites, are not international. For example, at the moment, we have some of the OECMs which don't know how to report themselves. So if it's not applicable, you can pick not applicable. But for what you're adding, all of them fall under national sites. They fall under national sites. So we will copy. You can even come and copy the national and then go back to the window. And then we can calculate. All of them will have the value national under designation type to mean that these sites are national protected areas. So you can click on the three dots, then go to calculate, and then pick the language. In this case, you can pick SQL, then click on the next. And then you can open the quotation marks, as I told you, and paste your values there. So paste what you copied there, and then just click on Run Calculation. It should run and populate that particular field with the values. So when you click back on the table, when you click on the table again, you can see that now the designation type has populated all the records with the national as a value, as the value of the field. IUCN category. IUCN category, my colleague in the introductory class took you through that list of IUCN categories. It is still in the WDPA manual. There's 1A, 1B. 1A is a strict nature reserve. 1B is a wilderness area. 2 is a national park. 3 refers to a national monument, and you can be referring to the presentation that was given. 4 is an area designated for species management. Then you have a landscape and a seascape area, and you have area with sustainable use of resources. So for example, national reserves in Kenya, I think they belong in category 4. My colleague will confirm. My colleagues can confirm where these national reserves belong in, and then you can come in there and populate our field. So you can switch back to the window. For the IUCN category, click on the 3 dots, click on calculate. Pick SQL, click on the next, and then in the SQL expression, you can. So as much as Roman 4 is a number, it will not be recognized as a numeric value in the expression. So for it to be added, then you must place it in quotation marks. So open the quotation marks. And type 4. Type Roman 4. Type Roman 4, then just click on run calculation. Run calculation, then when you click on the table again, you will see that all the IUCN category has been populated. IUCN category has populated. For the international criteria, this one does not apply. These are national sites. So for this field, you pick not applicable. So you can go and calculate again, then pick SQL, click on the next, then open the quotation marks and just type not applicable. So when you are typing, I will suggest that if you think you are going to make a mistake when typing the value, you can just copy. Just come and copy under the international criteria. This one actually only applies for World Heritage and Ramsar sites. So you can pick not applicable. Copy the value not applicable so that, not applicable, and again paste it there. Otherwise, when you type, you can make mistakes. Just copy it so that you don't make mistakes. Then just go and paste it. Paste it. Okay. Just a minute. Applicable. Paste it there, then click on run calculation. So you can go through the manual and continue filling populating the table. But for now, I want us to go and remember when we created this particular template, we also added a field called photo. We added a field called photo, and when you go to the right, of this table, you'll see there is a field called table. I want to use this opportunity to address some of the issues that you are facing in the previous class, so that we populate our photo field, and then go and see whether the photos can appear in the pop-up. So for that reason, I want us to take some few minutes. Maybe first we can sort, because we just want to use like 5 features and then use them for this class. So we can sort our data according to their size. So come to the reported area, then click on the 3 dots. Then you can sort descending. Sort in the descending manner. Click on descending, so that the largest protected area is the first, and then the smallest is the last. So when you sort, you can go back to the names and see the first one is called Aberdare Forest Reserve. So in a new tab, you can just search for Aberdare Forest Reserve. Aberdare Forest Reserve. Search for Aberdare Forest Reserve. And go to the images. Click on the images tab. Pick a photo that excites you. Pick a photo that excites you. Remember, it's also a national park, so you can pick a photo that is showing a forest. Make sure it's for Aberdare. For me, I'll pick this one. I have just selected one. Then right-click on that photo and copy image address. And to confirm whether you have only copied the photo or the image address, you can paste it in a new tab to check whether it will show just an image. If it shows an image, then you're good. You're good. You can close it, and you just switch back to your ArcGIS online account. We are editing this Aberdare National Reserve. You can select it so that you go and paste the link in the photo field. So under photo, you can double click to add a value. Double click on it, then just paste the link, then press on enter. Then you can go. You can see it has changed to view. When you click on view, it is asking you. You'll go to an external site. If you click on continue to external site, it should be able to display a photo, which means it will work. So you can do the same. Click on back, so that you go back to your. You go back to your layer feature, to the feature layer. Then the second, sorry, it's taking a while. The second field, sorry, it has undone our sort. You can sort again as per the area. Click on the 3 dots, sort descending. Then let us see the second protected area is Kikuyu escarpment. So for Kikuyu escarpment, you can go back and search for a photo of Kikuyu escarpments. Kikuyu escarpments. Under the images, pick one exciting image. And remember, as you pick an image, we have some of the images that are licensed. They require a license. So we are just using this for training purposes. But if you are using photos in your ArcGIS or for your data, make sure you use a photo that you have permission to use. So you just don't go and just pick any photo, because some of them photos have restricted use. You need to seek for permission so that you are allowed to use the photos. But for the learning purposes, you can go and pick a photo that has less restrictions, which is not licensable. Seems Let me change the search by size. Let me pick the largest size. I'll pick this one. I'll pick this one. Once you have selected it, come and right click on it and copy the image address and switch back to your ArcGIS Online, to the feature layer. Go to the right of the table and paste your link there. I told you if you want to check whether the link works, you can just open a new tab and paste it. And then press enter, and it will check whether it will open a photo. If it opens, then it will work. I'll go and paste it. And you can do that for all the features that you want to add photos against. So I'll add the last two, and then you can go and finish on your own. So I will add for South Laikipia and Nyeri. South Laikipia and Nyeri. So I'll go and search for South Laikipia, Forest Reserve, South Laikipia, Forest Reserve. And I'm only interested in photos. Okay. Oh, sorry, I clicked on maps, it's images. South Laikipia Forest Reserve. Remember, it's also a national park, so pick a photo that interests you. Then right-click on it, and then copy image address, and go back to your ArcGIS Online tab, and paste it against South Laikipia Forest Reserve. Press enter. Lastly, we will go to Nyeri. We go to Nyeri Forest Reserve. We go to Nyeri Forest Reserve. Pick a photo there. Right-click on it. Copy image address, and then go and paste it against the Nyeri Forest Reserve. So I'll scroll towards the right until you get where it is, and just paste it there, paste the link there. So once you do that, I want us to now go and see whether these photos will be visible, whether they'll be visible in a pop-up. So to go and check whether they'll be visible in the pop-up, of course, we'll just create a quick map using this particular layer. Then we will open up the class for questions and to resolve some of the issues that you have been facing. I hope that you will take your time and finish this exercise that we are doing. Make sure that you go through the WDPA manual. If you get any issue, we will sort the issues out later on. For example, we have some of the fields which require information from data providers. For example, the status. The status means it's the status of the protected area. At what stage is it? Is it still a proposed protected area? Is it a designated protected area? If it is a site that is not does not belong to the state or to the government, is it established? If it's an international site, it is inscribed. So the status refers to to the condition, to the level of the protected area, to the level where it is in terms of being recognized, or to the level of functioning of that protected area. The status here is when that protected area acquired that particular status. If it's designated, when was it designated? Normally, designated sites are those sites that belong to the government. So when was it gazetted for? Gazetted as a protected area. If it's a forest reserve, when was it designated? When was it gazetted as a forest reserve? So we have some of the information that you may not get. So if you get information that you don't have, just skip it, but fill the information that you can get. For the governance type, the data that we have it belongs to the government, and all these forest reserves are government protected areas. So we have a value for such kind of governance type. The ownership type has also defined values. So for those that have defined values, please make sure that you fill the information, and then you will share this layer later on. And the link, you will copy the link and submit it as an assignment for module 2, session 3. And an assignment for module 2, session 3. So with that, let us go back to the map and quickly create a map that will show the photos of this particular layer, the one that we have added. So you can switch back to the map tab. You can just click on the map tab so that you switch to the map tab. Switch to the map tab, and then let us go to click on add, and then pick browse layers. Browse layers. And just pick that layer that you have just edited now. It is, for me, it's the first one because it's the last, it is the last layer that I have edited. I click on add so that it's added. Once it's added, you can click on layers so that you zoom, click on layers, click on the 3 dots and click on zoom to layer. I'm going fast because I know that you have all gone through this procedure before. You have all gone through this procedure before. There are a few protected areas that were added. Here they are. Then we can try to modify the pop-up. As I told you, the pop-up is modified on the right side of the layer. So first, you need your layer to be selected. It has to be selected. Once it's selected, the buttons on the right will be active. These are a few commands that you can quickly use to work on your layer. So I need you to go to the pop-up. Pop-up must be somewhere here. It is here. So if you can't see it, just click on the 3 dots and just choose the pop-up. And you can see you have the title, the media. As I told you, you can reduce the number of fields so that you only see what you want to see. So you can click on the list so that we reduce these fields. We reduce them. You can remove some of the fields. But make sure you don't remove, you can remove the photo. You don't need to see the photo here. We will see it elsewhere. Good. So once you have removed everything, just leave a name, designation, both designations, even remove one designation so that you just remain with the one. I remove one in English so that I remain with the name. Designation type is forest reserve. A designation is forest reserve. The designation type is national. Then we're going to add, let us add a media file. To add a media file, click on add content. Click on add content. Then pick image. And then we can, under the URL, come and click on the parenthesis on the right of the URL option. And then scroll down and pick photo. Scroll down and pick photo field. And click on done. Click on done. And it will appear. So if you close this and click on any of the protected areas that head the link, it should show the photo below it. So you can see this one is Aberdare National Park, Aberdare Forest Reserve. It has a different photo. I'll look for Kikuyu escarpment, and it is showing a different photo. If you go to Nyeri, Nyeri is somewhere here. If you click on Nyeri here, it should show another photo. So this is how you add unique photos to. This is how you add unique photos to your pop-up. So with that mentioned, you want to open up the class for questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for making it to this lesson. If you have any question, please feel free to ask it. So we'll start with Linda Sogot. Please, Linda, you can unmute and ask your question.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My question is just on what we have just done. I believe all these data come with different attributes, especially for instance, we have the whether it is a Ramsar site or whether it's a protected wetland or what have you. I'm seeing most of the fields have the same attributes. Do we have a situation where we are required to put different attributes along different forest reserves? And how do we go about that?
Yes, thanks. Thank you, Linda. You are very right. You are very right. Different protected areas come with different attributes. For example, different protected areas will have different names. Different protected areas will have different designations. The example that I have just used for this class is I've used forest reserves, but then when you are updating your data, you'll have you can have forest reserves, you'll have national parks, will have national reserves, we'll have many other types of protected areas. So different protected areas, it's true that they come with different attributes. We have those that are national protected areas. There are those that are international. All of them come with different attributes, and I agree. They come with different attributes. But then when you are pre-filling, because when you are adding information to your schema or the template that is provided to you, you need to be guided by the WDPA schema, WDPA manual, sorry. We have shared it. It is you can get it online. So if you want to update your data in the WDPA, then you need to prepare your data in a way that the WDPA database stores it or manages it. So you have to be guided by the manual as you enter the attributes. Have I answered your question?
But the question is, when you are updating it, do you still use the same procedure? Because the procedure we are using now is for all. Like if you put forest reserve, it clicks forest reserve for all. How do you now edit out a forest reserve into a national, maybe reserve or a national park? How do you change? For me, I understand that we are using the drop down, but I feel like if you want to put like the right values, how do you go about that?
So there are various ways you can do. You can do it one by one. You see how we were adding the links, the photo links in the photo column. You can do it manually, one by one, depending on the number of protected areas that you are updating. You can go and fill in information in each. Just double click on each and enter information in each cell. Or what you can do again is that you can select all reserves, all forest reserves, and do update them as a batch. Then you go and select all the national parks and update them as a batch. We still have another session that we will do, but now we shall be using ArcGIS Pro. So maybe in that session I'll show you how you can update protected areas that have